What is good, YouTube? It's your boy OG Nomboy back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be rocking a Trevenant team. So this team consists of Trevenant, Walrein, and Galarian Stunfisk, and on its own, like, Trevenant and Walrein or Trevenant and Galarian Stunfisk are already like a solid core, but now I got both cores on the same team, and it's kind of played in the ABB style where the Walrein is used to bait out a potential fighting type such as the Medicham so that we can clear it out of the way for the Galarian Stunfisk in the back. And I'm really excited to run the Trevenant here since I didn't have one before the Halloween event, and it's ranked 2 on PvPoke, so it's a pretty strong Pokemon. And let's get into these battles here. So first match, we have the Trevenant into Alolan Ninetales, and this is alright since, like, it isn't the Powder Snow variant, so they're not going to be able to spam off the Weather Balls, but these charms are adding up, so I'm going to leave that matchup and pivot into my Walrein here. And they are a shield down, and they are staying in here, so it's really kind of a tough call whether they shield this or not, since they're not swapping out. Like, this is likely their best answer to the Walrein, but I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake here, and we get a little lag, and they decide to shield it, so we're kind of in a sticky situation. I should have also waited out my switch clock there just in case they swapped out, but apparently they were super weak to Stunfisk in the back and they back out of that matchup there, so GG's to that opponent. And next match here we have the Azumarill into our Trevenant. So they swapped in a Sableye, which usually means that it's going to be double ghost, and typically with double ghost you're going to see either a Alolan Marowak in the back, which was like the original team, I believe, or it's pretty common to see Trevenant too. So I swapped in my Walrein here since we can outpace them pretty easily with our Icicle Spears. So if they started shielding, like, we just match shields and we should be able to maintain switch pretty easily. So they bring the Azumarill back in, and this is fine. They have to throw a move to get us out of here since they can't really farm us down, but if it's a Trevenant in the back, I figure that my Walrein with a little bit of energy on it can still be useful. So I pivot into my Galarian Stunfisk to perhaps draw out the final Pokemon, and we do, which ends up being the Alolan Marowak here. So I bait successfully with the Rock Slide, but at this point I'm just going to go straight Rock Slide since if they don't shield, like, they're going to be pretty low, and I can either farm them down with my Galarian Stunfisk if they try to farm me down, or even get to a third Rock Slide. So I'm going to force them to throw their energy here. So this puts me in a good scenario since I'm going to be able to get some extra energy on my Trevenant. And the Azumarill was pretty loaded on energy, so this bubble that just snuck through is going to be their next move. So I have a shield still. I'm going to shield this Ice Beam, but, like, getting that extra bit of farm on the Trevenant really made this matchup a lot more comfortable since we'd be able to outpace them to the next Seed Bomb there. Next match, we have a Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales, so I swap into my Walrein, and we do lure out a fighter here, and Shadow Machamp though is super squishy, and I'm recognizing here, like, with the Powder Snow damage, we actually might be able to farm this thing down with our Walrein. So I'm going to invest the shield, and we just barely farm them all the way down. And this puts us in a really dominant position since typically with Alolan Ninetale leads, like, the core could involve a Swampert in the back. So I know my Trevenant's going to have some value, and having our Stunfisk aligned to the Alolan Ninetales is right where we want it. So I'm not throwing my move since I anticipate that they're going to swap out into their Swampert, which they end up doing, and we should be able to beat them even one shield down since we can tank a Hydro Cannon, but they can't tank a Seed Bomb. But the only issue here is, like, we're gonna be burning down the switch clock by throwing so many charge moves, so they're gonna be able to just shield and keep their Swampert alive, and I'm kind of anticipating that this is going to be the case. So I'm kind of forced to shield this last Hydro Cannon here, and they get to another Hydro Cannon, so I know after this move comes through, our switch clocks are going to be up, and they're likely going to try to snipe me, And I did click on the other side of the screen to try to swap in, but I guess I was a tiny bit slow, and I should have like pressed the swap, anticipating it. But now we're still in an okay position since one of these rock slides should KO, and I'm gonna intend on over farming to have an earthquake ready for the Swampert when it comes back in. So this is pretty close though. Like you can see, the Powder Snows are doing good neutral damage, and we're almost taken out there, but we are still able to get to the earthquake here and take out the Swampert. So GG's to that opponent. Next match we have Trevenant into Medicham, and this is another really positive lead for us. So they swap in a Diggersby. So I'm gonna be a little fancy here and catch a Fire Punch on my Walrein, and I did rather feature this team on my channel, but I'm anticipating that this is the like Home Slice Henry team that consists of Medicham, Diggersby, Safe Swap, and Noctowl in the back. So I know maintaining switch here is really important since I don't want my Trevenant on their Noctowl, and the opponent here also recognizes that they need switch in order to win the game, since they want their Noctowl on my Trevenant and their Medicham on my Galarian Stunfisk in the back. So they're investing shields here. I've lost track of their energy, so I don't even know if they're going to be able to beat me or not. So I'm getting a little worried here, but I'm just going to shield everything up and try to outpace them to the next move. I'm not going to try to farm them all the way down and risk getting hit by a Fire Punch. So like maintaining alignment is enough since we have a lot of energy on our Trevenant already, and our Galarian Stunfisk has a really dominant matchup against the anticipated Noctowl in the back. So yeah, if you haven't seen my video covering that team, definitely check it out. I gained 100 elo or 180 elo with that team in a matter of like 2 or 3 sets, or probably 3 or 4. I actually don't know, but I went on a pretty good run with that team there. So next match we have a Trevenant lead against the Galarian Stunfisk. So this is like an okay lead for the Trevenant. The Rock Slide still do about half your health, so 2 of them just about takes out your Trevenant. So I'm gonna go ahead and shield this next one, and then I'm gonna throw a couple extra Shadow Claws before throwing my Seed Bomb. I also wasn't keeping count here either, so I could have probably gotten a couple more Shadow Claws in, but they bring in the Trevenant and they allow me to throw this move here. So this is likely going to get a shield from them, and we get a bit of mutual lag here, I believe. I don't know if they were able to sneak in any fast moves or not, but I'm gonna let this Seed Bomb go since I know I survive it. And then they bring in an Azumarill, so now I know their whole team, and I think we're in a pretty solid position here since our Trevenant should be doing okay against the Azumarill, and our Galarian Stunfisk, as you could see like from the lead matchup, does well against Trevenant. So I'm gonna go ahead and shield this Ice Beam. They're likely going to shield my next Seed Bomb, but that's alright. And they're gonna be able to get to another Ice Beam before I get to another Seed Bomb here. But our Galarian Stunfisk should be in a pretty good position to sweep this team. So all I need is one Earthquake on the Azumarill really, and then a couple of like Rock Slides on the Trevenant, but they make a really nice catch onto the Trevenant there. And now I'm just gonna get to a Rock Slide. They definitely had like a Seed Bomb at least, but they decided not to throw it. But now I'm feeling alright, since typically when Azumarills run Ice Beam, like they're also running Play Rough, but yeah, Hydro Pump. So I ended up losing that match. Good catch by the opponent, and that won them the game. I could have timed my fast move better to where they weren't able to catch, but I didn't anticipate them doing it, and yeah, that kind of cost me that match. They're definitely winnable, so yeah, this team pretty strong. You can't really go wrong with Trevenant and Galarian Stunfisk. Like, they're ranked 1 and 2 on PvPoke, and they make a pretty solid core, and the Walrein as a safe swap also operates pretty well, as you can see there. So That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and also submit your battles in the link in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one.